I share what I'm listening to and my thoughts on music and the business daily for free at helloyassine.com. What's poppin', y'all? It looks like it's about to be the end of an era because PlaqueBoyMax said that he's going to stop making music on stream, and he gives a good explanation for this. So I'm just going to play you guys the stream clip of the context, and then we're going to get into it.
I'm going to be honest, I don't like making music on stream no more, bro. I don't know if I told y'all this, but like if I have artists come on, like for example, when DDG came on or How I Make Four Doors, I don't like making music on stream no more, I'm going to be honest, bro. Okay, imagine you trying to paint a picture. Imagine you painting something or like anything you're doing, and then it's just like you have thousands of niggas trying to critique your art while you're trying to even figure it out, you know?
Nothing.
Yeah, and I'm a streamer, so like when I'm making this shit, of course I want to entertain the chat and like talk with them. But like now it's like I'm at the point like it's like it'd be hard, you feel me? I'd be way more focused when I'm just by myself. So yeah, and it's just more fun, I'm gonna be honest. I love y'all though, like, you feel me? I'm of course make it when people come on, etc. But like, yeah, it's just kind of like it'd be nerve-wracking for me, I'm gonna be honest. Like, you feel me? Just being transparent. I know I normally be trying, like, you feel me? But like that should be nerve-wracking, so I don't really like doing that shit. But yeah.
No, fact, bro, I hear it.
You feel me though?
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn shit.
Cause I've grown a lot, and it's like it's way more niggas in my, you feel me? I just like to make this shit. Cause you make music for yourself, you know what I'm saying? To enjoy it, just cause you enjoy it. That's why I do it. So yeah, I mean, I'ma still release my shit. I'm super excited for y'all to hear this shit, but yeah, I just kind of, you feel me? It's a little different. I love y'all though, you know.
So as you just heard here, he said he doesn't want to make music on stream anymore, and he gives his reasoning, which I completely agree with. However, it doesn't mean that it's over, because a lot of people, at least within hip-hop, didn't hear about PlaqueBoyMax until he did these like in the booth sessions, and he started working with these other artists, underground artists first, and then slowly but surely getting bigger and bigger acts. Now out there in the UK, he's had Central C on. He's had Fred again on, which I think is one of the biggest W's that he's had. I mean, that's a huge win to get that guy on. I didn't think he'd show up. It's not that I didn't think he'd show up. If he committed to it, I didn't think that's something that he would commit to, being on stream. It's very nerve-wracking, especially for somebody that's not within the hip-hop audience, to pull up and then have yourself critiqued live in front of tens of thousands of people. It's not an easy experience. The PlaqueBoyMax's situation, I understand completely, because it's like, man, if you're an athlete, imagine you're an athlete and you're training and you're trying to get better, and people are telling you, nah, man, you got to hold your elbow like, let's say you're hooping. Now you got to hold your elbow like this. Now you got to switch this up. Now you got to do this. And I watch some people, and it's the worst with fighting, because I like to watch some fighting content here and there. And then some people will be like training, and then you've got people in the comments saying, nah, dude, you got to switch this up and you got to do this. And those are YouTube comments. So the video's already edited. You've already done your training session. And then you got people over here talking about this is what you need to do, that you have no idea what they are, what their credentials are, what they know, what they don't know, but they've all got an opinion. And now imagine you're getting that in real time in your ear. The same thing used to happen with gamers. And this is why it became so on Twitch. One of the biggest rules, Twitch used to be a strictly gaming platform. You used to get banned if you didn't play games. Like if you wanted to go IRL stream outside, you would get banned. That's what it was like. Up until 2017, it was like that. But what happened was a lot of people, they would backseat game. It's kind of like backseat driving. So they would backseat game. They'd be like, yo, you should have done this. You should have played like this. And the players, the person streaming is most likely better than everybody in the chat, or 99.99% of the people in the chat. So it became this rule in the majority of Twitch chats that if you're backseat gaming, you're getting banned. You're getting clapped. Because they're not trying to see that. Like, they're trying to play the game, and then you've got people constantly critiquing their play. And if somebody's already good or gotten to the point where they're good, they know how to critique themselves. It's just a nuisance. Feels like you're getting not just nagged, but it feels like you're getting whipped in the back. Like, what is it that they do to horses? I know how to say it in another language, but I don't know how to say it in English. Or not horses, donkeys, where they're like, make sure that they keep moving. Whatever, whipping the donkey, whatever you want to call it. But another artist, producer, streamer who can relate to Max came on, and that's Kenny Beats. And he said, bullseye. I don't know Max, but I know that he sees all the people he inspires with the streams. Making someone want to make music can change their life, and that's more powerful than any hit record. But every minute you spare showing the process and responding to comments is a minute you lose thinking about the music. Having your every creative instinct memorized and critiqued by millions on screen for months sticks with you off screen. If you are really his fan, tell him to take a break. This is an insight that I didn't see or I didn't anticipate. And it's something that only a person with the experience of not just streaming, but creating music and beats that Kenny Beats can provide. And he's one of the, I think he's probably the only person that can provide it to this context, because you've got other producers that are streamers now like Timbaland and the like, even T-Pain, but they're not to the scale that Kenny Beats got. And Kenny Beats was originally a producer, and then he became a streamer, and then he kind of fell back from streaming, from what I've seen, back to producing. PlaqueBoyMax is in a similar state. Like, he was doing some engineering stuff, and then he was a content creator, and I think he was learning at the same time. But why I think this is such a good idea for PlaqueBoyMax is it separates his music from his streams. In this way, there's anticipation that can be built, because he's already built a big audience that wants to hear whatever he does, wherever he goes, whatever he uploads in any capacity. So now when he's teasing music, he gets the benefit of being an artist. So let's say he shows a snippet. People weren't able to see how it was made, and he can actually express himself in a way where he's not being judged. But what Kenny Beats said is, it really has me thinking, I'm not going to lie, man, because now when he's making music on his own, how long is the half-life of him thinking, damn, what would this person say in the chat? That he probably can anticipate the reactions that people would have to his music being made on stream, even though he's making it off stream, because he spent so much time with this audience. And that's why I think streaming, if you're a streamer, man, it's one of the hardest, mentally taxing. When you're talking about mentally and spiritually taxing, that's the type of job it is. That's why I respect anybody that's able to do this consistently. And then when you're doing something artistic where there's always going to be criticism and there's always going to be split opinions, and you also have to get over the hump of being seen and respected as a rapper, which this generation that's watching Max doesn't seem to have that stigma, because they probably, a lot of them grew up on Aiden Ross, most likely. So the past 4 years, let's say the average Max viewer is 16, 17, 18. I'm just throwing out random numbers. I don't have the actual data. But if they started watching content when they were 11, 12, they were watching Fortnite streamers, they're probably watching Aiden Ross, maybe. So that's 4 years ago, Aiden Ross, 2021. Maybe even 2020. So throughout their whole, before they were even adolescents, preteens, they're watching streamers like Aiden Ross and thinking they're cool. And then they're watching PlaqueBoyMax. So him rapping is not a big deal. Whereas DDG came at a point where YouTube diss raps were a thing, and there was this gigantic divide between streamers, YouTubers, content creators being quote unquote cool to the hip hop audience, and rappers. And it's like, you can't mix the two or marry the two. But now there's opportunity for that. And we've seen Max get the least criticism from anybody else. Granted, within hip hop itself, he hasn't had a song by himself that does well, but I don't know if he wants to focus on rapping, producing. It's going to be for sure at least producing, but I think the rapping part will be harder. Like, he had the song Pink Dreads, of course, with DDG, but a solo song is a lot more difficult. And the solo song hasn't done the crossover into the hip hop audience yet. But maybe that's something that he's planning. And he's got the connections now. He's got a lot of support. The guy's, honestly, it's hard to even find anything negative to say about him. But yeah, streaming is a taxing. And this is the thing. It's a form of expression. So when you're expressing yourself, there's an element of vulnerability there. Imagine if Kid Cudi, like, you go back to Man on the Moon 1 tracks, Man on the Moon 2 tracks. You've got some deep records on there, at least emotionally, from Kid Cudi's perspective. And imagine, I remember there was this article from, I think it was Complex, in an interview when Kid Cudi talks about when he was recording All Along. I want to read you guys the quote because I think it's perfect for the moment that we're going to have here. Okay, this has to be some sort of Mandela effect going on in my memory. And I wasn't able to find the quote, but All Along was originally supposed to be the last song on Man on the Moon 2. It's a really sad song. And then he ended up making 3 more songs for it because he didn't want to end it on such a sad note. But if you just go listen to the song yourself, think of the mind state that Kid Cudi was in whilst recording that. Now imagine he was being watched by thousands of people. How would that affect the music? Would he even be able to make that music? And then not only that, I think it would potentially be possible if the person had a small audience or it was not going to spread. But now there's this predominant culture of clipping and spreading things that puts a magnifying glass on any type of moment. So even if someone's having like a vulnerable moment on a stream, they know that it's not just my audience that's going to see this, which is already 10, 20 plus thousand people live. It's going to be several million, if not more, when this gets clipped and shown around, especially if it's a moment where some negativity or something to laugh at or make comments about is the thing that's being spread. And as an artist, I can't imagine the level of difficulty there is in doing that. And it's a risk too for his streaming career, but I don't really think it's too much of a risk because PlaqueBoyMax largely got on because of personality, how he built his core fan base. It wasn't because of music. And music was always an element of it. But I think he's going to be fine. And I think this is a bold move. And hopefully he's able to push through and drop some heat. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Go to helloyassine.com, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Peace.